Las Vegas is a city full of ambition, talent, and reinvention. But with all the distraction, how do you create a culture that is built on transformation, discipline, and motivation? Vegas Unmuted is all about amplifying local voices that are making shifts here in Vegas. And today's guest, David, is all about that. He created Triple Threat Transformation, which is all about changing the lives of people, mentally, physically, and emotionally. He proves that discipline wins in the end. So I'm super excited, David, to have you on Vegas Unmuted.
Well, hello. Yes.
Yes. So I want to jump right into it, right? I don't want to waste any time. I know we talked a little bit about your journey. You are a Marine Corps vet.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you moved from a Marine Corps vet to now you have your Triple Threat Transformation program, or, you know, it's a gym.
Yeah. So overall, actually, I started online.
Okay.
And when I was doing it, you can't reach as much as in person.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it started from there, of creating the gym. And like I said, we have hikes. There's a lot of things in Triple Threat Transformation that's involved, but it started from online, actually.
Okay. Nice. I love that, actually, because I mean, I think one of the biggest things, right? You're coming from a Marine Corps vet.
Yes.
Which is, thank you for your service.
Well, you too, of course.
Right? As fellow vets, right?
Yes.
We know all about fitness, right? It's one of the things that we had to do to obviously have a career in the military.
Yes.
So I guess I want to know, before we even dive deep into the journey of the military and everything, I want to know, how did you come to Vegas? Were you born and raised in Vegas? Like, how does that work?
Right. So I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And a lot of people think it's, a certain way, but it's not. It's something, when I was there growing up, my mom and dad both knew I was not going to stay there.
Okay.
So I had to find a way out. We didn't have the money back then. And school at that time, I wasn't fun. I thought it was boring and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I got to get out of here, though. So I went and joined the Marines at 18, right after high school. Was there for 8 years.
Wow.
And then actually my wife's brother was here in 2012 when I got out. And I was stationed in Hawaii. And we thought that was the best move to do, was come here because it's cheaper.
For sure.
I'm from Wisconsin, but it's not a place I want to go back to live. So,
like, you wouldn't consider that home?
No. And I have my family out here now also, so it's a good thing. But that's why I came here. It's just a good spot. It wasn't California at that time, or Hawaii, the prices and all that. Trying to start something new, and this was the best spot.
Yeah.
At that time to think of. Yeah.
So basically, you got here in 2012, right off from the military.
Out. Yep.
I love that. Okay. Yeah. And then walk us through that process, right? So you're out the military, because I know one of the things you said was that journey of losing 30 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Because sometimes you get out the military, people don't understand. Like, you get out the military, you're a civilian now. Sometimes you don't even know what to do with yourself. Yeah. What do you want to do, right? So walk us through that. Like, what was that process like when you were like, I got to do something about what's happening?
Yeah, so I get out. At that time in 2012, I was 26. And I'm like, this is going to be easy. I can find a job. It'll be fine. No, it's not that way. It's hard to transition from military life to the civilian life. You get, paid housing. You have a lot of things given to you. Health
insurance,
everything given to you, which is a good thing. Again, if you're like 18 and you need something to do, I think military is a good thing. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
Overall. But so I'm working. I get a job, and life is not what I thought it was going to be. And over time, through the years from 2012 to 2020, I had this part where I'm just not sleeping well, drinking. Like, I have to have alcohol. Wow. I have to. I can't even go to bed without having some. And life is more about just focusing on everyone else. There's no focus on myself. It's just, how do I make more money? How do I have fun on the weekends? And that was basically it. There's a void. There's something there. But through that time, I don't know this mentally.
Yeah.
It just naturally happened that way. And then eventually I really get down to where in 2020, it's February to March. Now, COVID hit in that time frame also. But in there, I went to the hospital 4 times.
Wow.
They checked my heart because I'm telling you, I have problems with my heart. They go down the tube through my throat to check that. There's a whole bunch of things they're checking. And eventually they're just like, we're sorry. It has to do with your mental state. It's your anxiety. There's nothing wrong with you. So I had to look in the mirror and I had to tell myself, okay, there's nothing wrong. I have to fix myself.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. So I go on this journey mentally where I go to bed at the same time every night. I don't drink alcohol because I know something's wrong. I got to fix it. When I'm doing this fix, I'm walking every day. I'm getting sun. And, I'm actually just talking to people in my family and all that, playing board games, actually, just doing basic things for myself.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, within about a month, something in my mind starts to change. And I don't realize it at the time, but it's that switch to just focus on me and my goals.
Yeah.
Even though I have a family, I have to focus on me. And I never knew that the whole time, all these years, military and everything, I had no clue that I was never focused on myself. You focus on other people.
Yeah.
So I do that, the walking. I start actually, exercising. Now with COVID, I couldn't go to the gym, but I'm doing everything outside. A lot of pull-ups. Again, I'm sprinting. I'm doing eating better. I went back to school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, during that
time. Yeah.
Even with COVID, you could still go online, of course.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm doing all these things for myself. And then in 3 months, I lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
And, I got just this thing of mental state where I'm up here, where before I could look back, I was way down here, so low. And to me, it's like luck. I know when you think of luck, it's you make your own luck, but I really feel lucky that I didn't get low enough to, do anything terrible.
Yeah.
But it was still so low that I had these issues. And now when I look back today, I know how I felt, but I can't get back there because now my mindset is so different. And so once I fixed myself there, I was like, okay. I went back to I actually kind of go back a little bit. I was a general manager for a loan company. And I went back, and then I think it was like 2 weeks later, I got rid of it. I quit.
You quit.
Because that was one of my problems.
That was part of it, yeah.
Yeah. And I hated that job. I can look back and honestly say, it was a terrible job for me. Not for me.
Not for you.
And that's when you're in a different mental state, you can look at yourself and say, I want to do this, or I want to do that. Mm-hmm. And now you can focus on your goals, still take care of the family, and now you go in the right direction. And then that's how I started with eventually the fitness side. If you're a friend, a real friend, or a family member, I think telling the truth is very, very important. If you're someone that just says, "Oh, it's okay, you'll be fine,"
they're lying.
Well, it hurts too because now you think something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And that's that cycle. It keeps going and going. So, but that's the turning point where it's like, okay, I just gotta fix everything I'm doing. Go back to the opposite. I'm drinking all the time. Let's stop drinking. I'm not really exercising or going outside like I used to have fun. Stop that. Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Now, this process, when I talk about it, it's not simple in the beginning.
Right.
I remember clearly the first 3 weeks was very hard. That's why I'm so happy about family and real friends.
Yeah. Because
without them, it's a hard. You can be mentally ready, but to actually do it is so hard. And I think that's when I started really changing. Though was when the doctors told me it's in my mind, and then me doing it for myself.
Yeah.
That switch in my mind saying, no, it's about you now. Everyone around me, if they don't want to be on my journey, that's okay. Right. I'm just going to keep going. And that's how I've been ever since. If you're with me, cool. If you're not, I promise I'm not even mad. I don't care if we've been friends for 20 years.
You just have to switch it up. You can't keep doing the same thing.
Yes. Goals are so important. If you're not working on your goals right now, that could be one of the biggest issues you're having, is that you're not focusing on yourself at all. You're focused on other people's.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is big,
So,
because we tend to do that, especially when we're talking, you have family that you want to take care of.
Right.
Like you have your mom, or if you have kids, or if you
Right.
have whatever, and you're like, you're putting you last, but it's like you can't pour from an empty cup,
Yep.
you know? So I think that happening to you actually happened for you,
Yes.
you know, to essentially save your life. Wow. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So now, just to get into how the triple threat,
transfer. No, it's okay.
I'm Jamaican,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
my
it's okay.
accent, triple threat. But yeah, the triple threat transformation.
Yes.
It's a tongue twister, by the way.
It is.
How did you come about that? Because I want to understand behind the triple.
For anyone out there that's listening, when you're starting a business, to have a name, it's very hard. I actually had a couple names before. And I would ask people, I'm like, what do you think about this? Again, this is where it comes in. If you're a real friend, please tell the truth.
Yes.
Because we're really asking for help because we don't know the answer. And when you make a business, the name, some people could say, well, it's really if you're yourself, you're the business. Yes. But if it's the wrong name, it can deter, again, what you're going for.
What your goal is, yeah.
I actually went to Florida many times for business to learn more and all that. And one of them I went to, I told them, I need help with the name. A lot of people are trying to get me to go like a military side of a business name.
Yeah.
It's possible, right? I mean, anything works for a name, but we brought it up about what I do. So again, break down what my thought process is for business, for what I do. And that's where it's like, it's the mindset, because I work on the mindset. Without that,
you wouldn't have done any of the rest of the stuff.
So I'll kind of break it down too, as I'm explaining. So one part of the triple threat transformation is mindset. That's being positive. If you're not positive, like I call the January 1st people, they work on getting healthy in their mind for just a little bit. And then as soon as they feel pain, or they're waking up too early, or it's too late, they stop. January 10th is actually, I read this, I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but January 10th is the day most people stop their New Year's resolution. Wow. It's only 10 days. So.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So that had to be incorporated, though. We have to be positive. When you're going through this transformation of your health, no matter what aspect it is, gaining weight, losing fat, gaining fat, whatever it is, you have to stay positive. You have a bad week, it's okay. It really is okay, because you got next week.
Yeah.
You got positive. You're going to feel better. And keep going. And that's being positive. The second one is manifest. Well, why is that one? Because you have to believe in yourself. Mm. You notice how I didn't mention yet nutrition or like physical anything, because without being positive and without believing in yourself, this journey will stop.
Wow.
You will stop quickly. As soon as you feel pain, again, as soon as you can go even more deep. Let's say someone passes away that's a family member. Maybe it's your friend no longer talks to you. Maybe you lose time. But if you stay positive and you believe in yourself, you'll figure it out. Or again, like I said, I'm a coach, but you have other people that can help.
Yeah. To push you to keep going, right?
To keep going. But you have to realize you have to stay positive at least, to say, you know what, I'm having a little trouble on this, I'll get help. Or I got this because I believe, I look in the mirror and I know I can be different. I'm going to go. And then third was the movement, because you have to exercise also. So that's where we kind of figured it. Now, nutrition's not in the name itself, but that's part of it, obviously, too. But the triple threat is movement, mindset, and manifest. Because those are three things you need. I believe nutrition will come into it eventually, absolutely, after those three, though.
Because that's positive, too.
Right.
I mean, that would probably fall under positive, because if you're eating good.
Correct,
you know?
It's something to involve, but if someone just does nutrition only, I really do believe you have to exercise also. Yeah. You have to get those muscles moving. You don't want to age. If you eat healthy, great, but what if you're like 70 and you never exercised? It's,
and you're gonna,
your bones are very brittle. We don't want that, right? So
Yeah.
stuff like that. So,
yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
That's true, because it's almost like I've seen it with me. I started doing a gym thing,
yeah.
but the nutrition part is so important, because you're almost like working against yourself. Like I'm like, oh my God, I could have seen more results if I really had good nutrition for a long time. Like I'm in year 2 now. September's going to be 3 years of really being strict with this.
Yes.
But no, the nutrition part has been so wobbly.
Right. And that's something to work on, because it's a little harder, right?
It is. Because, you know, you were talking, it's those days where it's like, all right, you're on the go. So that's why it's like, you know, that saying that says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yes, that's that. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I got to go back to meal prepping. I got to, you know, all this stuff. So I'm super excited to start doing that now.
And see how you're incorporating that after the exercise, though.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel that's a correct way to look at. Get the movement in first.
Yeah.
And then you'll be more motivated to get into the nutrition side. And you know, breaking nutrition down anyways is very detailed. A lot of people, especially now with TikTok, Instagram, there's so much to, this person says this, don't do this. Break it down. Let's break it down to the basics first anyways. So that's why I said it's a lot involved in nutrition.
When you think about it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. Well, I plan on definitely switching it up for 2025. That was actually one of my goals, to actually get strict with the nutrition part. So I'm definitely going to be probably reaching out so you can help me out.
Oh, good. Yeah. And the main thing with everyone too, and yourself, break down your goal. Call it like a bullet point, basically.
Yeah.
Let's say, I want to lose weight. That's not much of a bullet point.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's, I want to lose 30 pounds in 90 days by doing only runs. Now, as someone like me that can help, we know specifically what you're looking for and what you want to do. Maybe you don't want to lift weights.
Yeah.
You know? So there's a lot of things to breaking things down for your goals. But if you focus on it, breaking it down will be a lot easier to reach them. And that's what happened to me for mine.
Yeah.
I had to break down that goal.
And little by little. You mentioned, we're going to go back to the first part when you were telling us about the habits.
Yes.
How important is it to implement habits in the transformation process?
Perfect. First, you're motivated. Then you become dedicated. Then it's consistency. Once you get to consistency.
Say that again.
Yes. First, you're motivated. January 1st, people. Okay, just throwing it out there. Okay, you're motivated. You watch Rocky IV like me, you're motivated for a little bit, okay? We have to get you dedicated. Now, what's dedicated? Maybe you sign up to a gym. Maybe you work with a coach. Maybe you work with a personal trainer. Maybe you're set now to where you're going, let's say 4 times a week, doing something specific. But maybe after 3 months, 4 months, it's nice outside. And now you start traveling, right? You were dedicated. You were dedicated, but you weren't consistent yet.
Yeah.
And then third,
consistency.
Look at consistency as brushing your teeth. When you're a child, you don't want to brush your teeth because you're not consistent in it yet, right? It's not fun doing that, right? It doesn't taste good. Okay? Right. But now as an adult, most, they brush their teeth. It's just natural. It's not even like hard. It's not
a thought.
Really? You're just doing it. That's what it comes to when you're health. Once you get to that level of consistency, it's just normal.
Yeah, you don't even have to think.
No.
Wow.
And that's the steps of the habit forming. Now, we can break that down more, yes, but that's how do you get a habit to become consistent? And when you're looking at something, let's say fluid intake. A lot of people don't look at their fluid intake. Let's say I notice you don't drink a lot, fluids. And I say, let's keep track of that. And maybe you're at 100 fluid ounces a day, but maybe you need to be at 140. These are just random numbers.
Right.
But before you know it, keeping track might, again, you're motivated, but maybe you're not that into it yet. Once you become consistent at it, though, you'll know what you're drinking all the time. Now you become healthier naturally just because it's just who you are now.
Right. It's a part of you.
Part of you.
I think a lot of people go into this thinking it's going to happen right away. Like, I don't know, but for me, it's been 2 years and I still have moments, right? So it's like, how can you tell us like what's that time? Not that everybody's gonna have the same time frame, but realistically, because I think a lot of people are like, I'm gonna go 6 months, or they'll do this, right? Oh, my birthday's in 5 months. I'm gonna get to it now.
Oh, this happens all the time. Yeah.
It's like, come on, So how would you break that down as far as time frame and going into it? Because one of the things I live by is not to focus too much on the process, or the result, but just do what I'm doing.
So the first thing always, I'm going to ask anyone, what is your goal? Now, let's say you say, I want to get healthier in 2 years. That's a long goal. But now you say, I want to get healthier in 6 months. Okay, we're getting closer now. I want to get healthier in 3 months. Okay. I still don't know what you want yet. Healthier means so many things. So let's say nutrition is one of the goals. I don't know that by saying you want to be healthier. I needed you to break down the goal first in detail, breaking it down so I can understand what it is. And now we can go through time frame. Does that make sense? Because I don't know what the goal is. Just because someone says to me, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay. 50 pounds of fat? 50 pounds? Or do you want to look different? Because weight can change.
Yeah.
Build muscle, right? Certain things. So again, okay, so let's say, oh, my birthday is coming up. I need to lose 50 pounds in 5 months. Okay, that means we're going to lose 10 pounds a month. Now, some people are going to tell you, well, that's a little excessive. Possibly, but I need to know where your thought process, and I don't like to look at things as it can't happen per se. Now, 100 pounds in 5 months it depends on the person. It does. You want to make it a little bit longer, but I would tell them for their mindset focus, how about this? Let's work our best to see where we can get you in that time frame, but we're going to get you somewhere.
Yeah.
I want to see how this first month is first.
Yeah.
Is that fair? And then, because everyone's different of their goals. And that's what I meant by timing is really on certain things. But most people want something, again, like 90 days is always what people say. I like 120 days because vacation, get sick.
Interruptions, right?
Yes.
You can count for those things.
Yeah. Hopefully that answered a little bit of the answer.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Because it's hard.
It's hard to give a direct, like, oh, it's going to be 6 months or it's going to be. So having what you said, knowing the person's goal as far as where they are and what they want to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, majority, I like to work in 4 months, 120 days. I believe you can get where you're looking for in that time frame. Definitely could be earlier, of course, or it could take a little longer. Depends on again, specifically the goal that you're looking for. Always remember this. It's on you too. Think of someone like me as a tutor. I can do whatever I want. I can tell you things. I can give you all the information. I can give you the app. I can give you everything. If you're not doing the work or you're lying to yourself, this happens so much. They put things that I want to see in the app. Instead of, I know, look, you can't be at the same calorie intake when you started and you're still there and nothing's, you can't be at, let's say you're at 4,000 calories and then the goal eventually is to get to, let's say, 2,300. And then you tell me you're at 1,800 every day and you never lost anything and you look the same.
Something's not adding up.
And again, that's my job now to fix your mindset. So now it might take a little longer than timing because now I have to fix the mindset part of it, and which is fine. It's okay. That's what I'm there for.
Right.
But you need that. Change. Right.
But you need to, like the person I'm saying.
Right.
To be honest.
Yes.
Because you're lying to yourself and it's only harming yourself.
Right. Which means you're motivated when we signed up or worked together, but we were never dedicated yet.
Yeah.
So you never got to number 2 yet.
So you won't get to number 3.
Well, no, you haven't got to number 2 yet.
Got you.
Or you're still working on it, which is fine. Remember, it's like I always compare health to like cigarettes too. Mm-hmm. I could care less if you stop smoking 10 times. You still got Monday. Monday's a new week. You still got tomorrow to start over again. Just keep starting over.
Oh my God, I love that. You know, when I was in the military, I had a sergeant tell me, quit tomorrow. And it was like People, like, for a second, you have to think about it. Wait, quit tomorrow. Yeah. But it's like, if you tell yourself I'm quitting tomorrow, then you realize you never quit. But in reverse, for you, what you're saying is like, if you tell yourself I'm going to start over tomorrow because I want to do better, it's like the same thing. Yeah. So then you never, ever stop trying at getting there.
Yeah. Not one day, but day one. Who cares? Tomorrow's day one. Good. Well, I already had my day one like 5 times. Good story. Tomorrow's day one again. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened before.
Yeah.
I say you need to know your past. You need to retain it. Embrace it. But you can't change it. But you have to retain it. So tomorrow, who cares? Tomorrow, you wake up, it's all good.
Brand new day to do it again.
Sales business. Let's say today's bad. Oh, well. When we wake up tomorrow, it's a whole new day. It doesn't matter. Just keep going. It's all it. If you focus on remember, if it's a goal, if it really is a goal though, you'll keep going. If you're just telling people that because it sounds good, you'll probably stop a lot, or never even try.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. So, that's good. That's good. And the breakdown part of it too. So with you being a fitness and a mindset coach, basically, right?
And nutrition.
So, how would you introduce yourself? I'm a fitness / mindset, or would you say I'm a nutrition?
I say I'm a fitness nutrition coach.
Okay.
It's not that I don't teach other things, because I do, but realistically, that's what I teach: a kettlebell training, full body training.
Okay.
But if it's broad, the thing is, how do I make it? When you talk to different people, it's like, oh, be as specific as possible. I could, but it depends who I feel like I'm talking to. It could be very basic.
Or it can be very precise. Yeah,
it depends on who I'm talking to. Big group. If it's a big group, I break it down more fitness nutrition coach. That way, if I talk to someone in detail, I can break it down. Full body, kettlebell trainer, nutrition too. It depends on that. I look at nutrition for my side of the business. How I work is we have hikes that are free that we do. We have a whole bunch of hikes that we do.
Yeah, I gotta come to one of those.
You need to. And when I talk to people too, so that's why I say fitness nutrition, because if I say kettlebell and you're not ready yet for, let's even weights, I can't even help. You probably don't even want to talk to me anymore. But if I say fitness, well, what does that mean? Good. Now you're gonna maybe ask me, or when I talk more, I can bring up, oh, well, we have hikes, absolutely free, so that people are like maybe low on money.
Movements, right?
It's just something to start.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not ready yet to use weights mentally. Hiking is great. You get to talk to people. You're not alone, and you're walking outdoors in the sun.
Yep.
So it's a good start. Maybe you're past that. Maybe you like that, yes, but maybe you want more. Well, I teach group training then. So group training, again, with other people. Still full body training, but it's something there. I do one-on-one trainings. I do online, of course, but I have something for everyone.
The variety is there.
Right. But the main thing is, how do I just get someone that hasn't done anything in years? Veterans, too.
To feel open, yeah.
There's a lot of veterans that are broken physically, mentally. Not all, of course, though. Not all. But there's some. So maybe, again, a nice hike, or maybe the group is good. I do some stuff right now with the veteran side, but it's in group because it's other people.
Yeah.
And it's a good, again, those two, again, good starters.
Yeah. To just at least put you in the space.
Right, yeah. And then I say fitness nutrition coach, and I never even mentioned nutrition yet, because that's something, remember, like I said, mindset.
It comes with the build-up.
Mindset, movement, manifest. That comes a little after. Some people want that right away, which is perfect, but as you said yourself, right, nutrition is a little harder.
Yeah, it is. To implement and really stick to.
Right. And that's how I looked at myself. I'm like, okay, like a funnel almost.
Yeah.
Trying to get into it. We'll get there. And then when you're ready, you'll let me know, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And we break it down even more when we talk.
Yeah. So. That makes sense. Because you don't want to, like my pastor always says this, you don't want to scare a person away before they're even starting the process, or at least having an understanding as to what it is that you have to offer.
Right.
So having that approach is good for sure.
Yeah.
So let's touch a little bit on the Vegas side of things, right?
Okay.
So being out here in Vegas with this type of business.
Yes.
Because in the beginning I said, Vegas is very distracting. I mean, there's always something.
Always.
So I guess I'm trying to figure out what is that key component that you think is necessary for someone to, let's say, I'm going to focus on this. Because I know one of the things you said is that there's never a right time, right? There's never a right time to do something. Anything that you're doing, business or fitness or journey. So what would be that key component to say, I'm going to stick with whatever it is that I'm planning on doing, especially as it relates to fitness?
Are you saying more of like when to start or just?
Yeah, like somebody is like, okay, I want to start. I've started, but with all the distraction, right? Because it's like, I got to go to a party. Like you said earlier, it's summertime. I'm outside.
Yes.
What would you say is that key thing? Like that, do they need to remember something? Do they need to have a why? Like what is it?
This is, I think I'm kind of known for the ones that work with me. I always put this in someone's head. I thought you told me your goal was this. I always say that because let's say, here's an example. Let's change it up a little bit.
Okay.
Your goal is to make $1 million a year. Again, that doesn't help anyone because what does that mean? You can't focus on just making $1 million. You got to focus on how to make that million. You got to break that down even more each month and all that kind of stuff. But let's say after 3 months, you lose sight of that million and it's now your focus is how do I make money? Now you see you're going back and then you start making money, but it's not what your goal was anymore. And now you hang out on the weekends with friends because you worked hard for the money. That goal no longer is there. And someone like me would be like, I thought you told me you wanted to make $1 million a year and you're supposed to break it down. Maybe you told me all this. How come you're not doing it now? I always do that. And it's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're not positive anymore. Or they're not believing in themselves that it's there, and that's why it's lost track, that goal.
Right.
It's always has to do with goals. Always. The first thing I talk to anyone about is, so what is your goal? And then, of course, I break it down, yes, but I got to figure out what your goal is.
Right.
I'm always going to go back to that. I have goals, right? So it's summertime. Okay. I'm still doing the same. Nothing changes.
Yeah. Do
I go on vacation right now? Nope, because I have my goals. My vacation is me doing my business. I love it so much. That's it. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a bad day, great day. It's the same thing. But that's my goal. So if everyone focuses on their goals, but again, you have to find it first.
Yeah.
You have it in your head somewhere. You just got to find it. And then you got to say it yourself. And once you do, just keep attacking and be around the same people that think like you.
Yeah. Oh, that was a big one too.
Yes.
So it's the goal. So we're going to have the goal, and then we're going to plug into the environment.
Yes.
That is going to, what would the word be? That's just going to push that goal even further because they're the right type of people.
Right. Like meetups. Here's an example like meetups. Why do people go to meetups?
To connect.
To connect, right. Yeah. But why? Connect with what? You can go to the pool or the beach in California. You can just drive there and meet
like-minded people. They want to be in the same environment.
Exactly. Because they know they need it.
Yeah.
So, because they know, we're all human. We're going to have days where we're like, I want to do the opposite of what I always do.
Yeah.
But we need people around us that think like us to say, no. And we know that deep down. We know that. We want to be around people that
it's going to push
we think like us and do the same things and be together.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to be alone. You want to be with other people.
Right.
That think like you.
Yeah, that makes sense. The environment is going to contribute to your goals.
Exactly. Everything has to do with that. But that's why this coach is here. So let's say business. If I need a business coach or someone to help me because I know I'm not there yet, or if I need a CPA because I don't want to even touch that stuff.
Right.
That's very true. I have someone that helps me now, but before that, the hours it takes to do that has nothing to do with my goals.
Yeah.
I need to get rid of that and give it to someone else. And let's say you say, I can't afford it. That's okay. Find someone, like meetups, that does it, and maybe you can work together. Maybe you help them with something, and they help you with that same thing until you build up.
That's that networking and connection.
Same thing
like
is
building
that,
relationships.
right? But still in the same mindset of people.
Right.
That's why
exactly.
people want to go to those places. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you can just go to the bar and meet people and drink and,
True. That's
stay
ooh,
down
that's
here.
A fact.
Stay down here instead of moving up.
Yeah. I love that too, because then it makes you realize that there's a deeper rooted thing.
Right.
When even in different industries. Like I'm a real estate agent.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I do fitness. I'd like to work out and keep my body in shape, right? And eat good and be positive.
Right.
You are a fitness mindset coach, right? Or fitness and nutrition coach. And so that's not the same industry as a real estate agent, but we have the deeper thing, which is what? The mindset portion of it.
Correct.
Because now we're in the same type of environment because we know ultimately what it takes is the right mindset.
Right.
I love that.
Yes. And we both believe in ourselves.
Yeah. So now it's no longer, let me just do the job. It's where is the mindset so that the job doesn't even feel like a job and we can actually do the thing and be consistent and get to the goal.
That's all it is, because if you're working a job, most people have a job they hate, which sucks. I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
And when you do, that's again, where alcohol or maybe drugs, whatever it is.
Weed.
Yeah, whatever it is that especially weekends, right?
Yeah.
Let's say most people work Monday through Friday. What do most people do? I gotta watch sports on the weekend. I have to drink.
Party.
You do realize though, that means now your whole weekend's not on you, it's on nothingness. You did not improve yourself in one instance.
Nothingness.
There's nothing there. There's nothing that you improved yourself on. Wow, look, I have a lot of friends that watch football. I know that. It's not that you can never watch sports. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's people I know, they're so involved in sports and politics. You're making $0. You're making $0 from this. Why? You made a couple more friends that have to do the same thing of not your goal, though. It's not your goal.
And they're so plugged in. They're
plugged into something that has, if I ask your goal, and your goal is to make $1 million a year, we break it down to something, whatever it is, and then all weekend you watch football. I don't know. I don't understand you because I don't know what you're doing. How has that to do with your goal?
Right.
And now that's gone. Remember, that time's gone behind you. You can no longer get that back.
Yeah.
And let's say I want to lose 30 pounds in 90 days. But you watch, again, sports all weekend, and you drink at night on Fridays and Saturdays. You're not there. Remember, you were motivated to say that for whatever reason, and then you were never dedicated ever to even be there yet. And then someone like me has to be there again to be like, let's regroup every time. We got to fix this.
Yeah.
That's what I said. We don't even get to the
consistency.
We don't even get to the food part yet. You have to fix your mind first. Well, I mean, yeah, you work the food, but you have to fix that mind first of that person to even start.
That's true.
And that's what I meant by sports or all that. Again, it's okay.
Anything that's like short-term dopamine. It's just like, it's just short-term. It's so fun. I'm doing it. Yeah, whatever.
It's like drinking, right?
Like drinking, smoking, like whatever. All the things that are there to do, but it's nothing that's really building you up or putting you any closer to the goal.
And if you're not focused on your goals, you'll start helping other people out before yourself again. Again, I'm not saying not to work on your family. I'm just saying, I'm going to say one thing. And actually, this happened yesterday at the meetup. I was at a meetup yesterday. And when you're a kid and you see your parents, even if it's one parent or both, whatever it is, if anyone listening can listen or remember when they're 10, you never looked at your mom or dad or both and said, I hope they do nothing but take care of me and never work on themselves. You'll never think that way about your parents, ever. You want them to be their best. Even if you're a child, you don't maybe say it, but you want them to be their best, no matter what. You want to see them every day be like the best, like Superman. But us as parents always think that we have to take care of the children
where it depletes us.
Like like, helicopter mom, dad, you know what I mean? Like that kind of, you want to think like that, but they actually want you to have your goals set and work towards it, and it's going to help them out too. So I was talking about that yesterday, and I still think that applies now. You should work on your goals even with children. Don't stop that process.
Don't neglect it for real for yourself.
Never. Now, you may not do as much time for yourself because, especially if you have newborn, it's all good. Maybe you take a month off, but there's no part that says you can't just do body weight exercises. There's no part that says you have to change the way you're eating and drinking. There's no part that says you'll lose sleep. That's you're gonna lose.
Yeah,
that one you're gonna lose.
Can't help you out there for the first couple months.
Right, yeah. But is your mindset ready to just be you and focus on yourself still? You're still gonna focus on the brand new baby and all that, but you have to focus on yourself still. So
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that too? Because I posted a video once, and I was just saying how it was like one of those reels where I was like, when everyone else is sleeping, because I go to the gym at 6 o'clock. Before I was doing a little even earlier.
Right.
And there were so much comments that was just trying to like eat me up about the fact, oh yeah, lucky you, or
yeah.
tell that to someone with kids. And I'm like, I remember when I got out of the military, I didn't have gym access and I had my son. Mm-hmm. You know what I did? I put on YouTube and I worked out at 5 in the morning in my living room.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're willing to do the thing, you're going to get it done. Like, it doesn't need a gym. Like you said, body work exercises.
Body weight, yep.
So body weight, body weight exercises. You don't have to necessarily do that. I feel like people are just going to always try to find a way to plug in, their excuses.
You know what you could do on your end? Just a recommendation possibly. Mm-hmm. If someone ever did stuff like that, right? You could, one, not just ignore it, or two, just put, no, I completely, you always agree with them. I understand exactly what you're saying. How about you try this, though, for you? Yeah. And it's all positive.
Because that's exactly what it was.
You'll probably get people like, well, damn, okay.
No, that's exactly what happened. She felt so bad. Okay, yeah. I said to the girl, I was like, honestly, what I was doing before I started hitting the gym, I would just put on YouTube. Yeah. I told this was on Facebook. Oh, nice. And she was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. And I'm like, because maybe it's not even I'm trying to make excuse thing like you're saying. Maybe I didn't think of it for real, or maybe it is an excuse, whatever the case may be. But sometimes it's good to really approach it positively. Because
maybe it could be they're having a bad day, bad week, bad year. And again, there's no one around. Remember, they could be someone that's with people that's always negative. Yeah. All you need is that one positive person like you. You put it in. It's like, okay, I actually can do this.
It's not all bad.
No. And it could be someone later, 5 years from now. You never know that.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. Mm-hmm. I love that. You're so positive. And it's rubbing off.
Yeah. No, I'm human. I get my bad times too, but I've learned literally after about maybe a minute, it's gone. Yeah. Because I'm not a magician or anything. I was able to just stay positive on my goals. That's really all it is. And then whatever happens, it's like gone because there's no focus to my goal.
Do you feel like anything in the military helped with that? I know when you came out, it was a whole transition thing. But now that you're in this space mindset-wise, do you think anything from the military helps? So
I was very quiet as a teenager. I was someone that was mad too all the time, angry. I'll never forget, the first day of boot camp. Instantly, I grew like 10 years in my mind because, you think you're here and then they make you understand, nope, you're down here. Right. In a good way, though. You have to experience it, I believe, to understand what I'm saying. Yep. But it made me realize a lot of things of maturity. So now I tell this to everyone. I feel technically I wasn't made for the military. But it was good for me to go through it, to make me look at life differently. Yeah. I'm someone that, it's not that I don't like listening to people. I only want to listen to people that I believe I should. In the military,
that they align with you.
Yeah. Well, you know this. In the military, you get people in charge of you that's like, how are you in charge?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, that's what made it hard. It's because you're listening to people that don't know what they're doing. And then you pick up rank, all you know is what you were taught too. And that's what makes it harder.
Yeah.
And then when you get out, there's no one there anyway, so you just got to figure it out on your own. But you look back and be like, it makes you tough to where you never give up. Well, at least for me, I'm saying.
Yeah.
To where you just never give up because you know you've been through worse.
For sure.
Now, obviously, when it comes to mindset, some people get too low. That's a little different story, but I'm talking about just if you're good,
you find yourself,
you'll get better because you've been through worse.
Yeah. That's one of the things I took away too.
Yeah.
Embrace the suck is the Army.
No,
like they always, I don't know, they do it in the Marines too.
Yeah, embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck. Yeah. So for me, at one point I had to break that down. What is embrace the suck? And it's like, even though it's obviously sucking, like you don't like what you're doing,
right?
You go full-fledged. It's like what you said. It's being positive even in the midst of something that seems so negative or so hard or so just not what I want to do, but you're doing it anyways and you're embracing the suck.
And that I didn't even learn though until 2020.
Oh.
In the Marines, I don't know how it is now. You know, I've been out 12 and a half years. Yeah, 12 and a half years.
Wait, what year did you get out?
2012.
Oh.
So 12 and a half years.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know how it is now. Yeah, but back then, it was like either you're hardcore or you're like a wimp. It wasn't about positivity, really. I mean, you know, it's, again, back then, Marine Corps, I don't know how sure how it is now. But it's a lot of just, you work hard and you play hard.
That's it.
And a lot of drinking, of course, and a lot of, you know, I'm saying it's all that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now, my second term was a little different. Yeah, you know, pick up rank. So it's different, but it's still that same mindset of, you know, it's no longer normal.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just that's one of the things why I got out. You know, I really thought I was going to be a lifer.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be in the military forever, honestly. But when I realized these people don't make sense, I mean,
you know,
there was a lot of things, just like you said, somebody who is above you or just the stuff. And I'm like, are you human? Like there was a time where I questioned if these people were human.
Right.
Because it wasn't making sense mentally or how they approached things and how they treated you.
Right.
It just,
no,
I don't know.
Like I said, I had good leadership, but I had really bad leadership. When I deployed, I had a bad leadership. And that, again, it makes it so hard of like, we have big goals when you go. Anything in the military you're doing, there's big goals you have. But when you have bad leadership, it makes it very hard. And that's what I mean. So I never talk bad about the military because I really do believe, especially nowadays, a lot of 18-year-olds should really think about this. There's a lot of benefits that come afterwards too. The only problem is how do you get better leaders in there that get promoted and not just the crap ones. And that's the only thing I say that's to me negative about the military is that you do get bad leadership.
You're gonna have those,
and then they teach, and now you're getting up the rank, and all you know is some of these bad ones. But again, how do you stay positive to where don't pay attention to them, just pay attention to the good ones, and only attach yourself to the good. It's easier said than done, but
true. Because I know in the Army they had resilience training. I don't know if you guys had that.
There's different trainings for sure.
To try to get the mindset and the positive stuff going.
No, we didn't have. I never took that one. No.
The Marine Corps is tougher though. Like in the sense of like what you said, hardcore. It's either I'm like hardcore, or I'm just like a wimp or whatever. Yeah,
it's again. I'm not sure how it is now, but back then was, again, I got to, you know, let's say you're sore. You can walk. Let's go. I mean, what do you mean? Sore. Like it's that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Again, it helps me out now to this day because whatever I went through back then, right now it's like I've been through worse.
Yeah.
Mentally,
it was necessary. In some regards. Yeah.
Makes you mentally tougher. Again, I'm not talking about the ones that are, you know, their mental state's no longer positive.
Yeah.
That's a little different story, of course. I'm talking if you just did your time and.
But that takes deep work too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Even if it gets to the point, because it's like however low you go, it's your low.
Right.
There's never any levels of your mental low is matching my mental low.
True. Yep.
So wherever it's at, it's like, how do we come out of it? You know what I mean? And I think it's different, obviously, for everyone. But I do want to ask you this, like, being here in Vegas now,
Yes.
if someone's listening, what would you say is something that they would need to do to start to take accountability, start to, like your three tiers? How do we get from here to here to here to get to the level of consistency?
Yep. First thing, no matter what, you have to find your goals. And I said goals with plural because it's just not one. You may have 3. You may have 5. You have to find your, let's say it is 5. Okay, someone listening, you got 5 goals. You need to write down your goals every single day. If you have 5 or 3, you need to put those in order. 1, 2, and 3. What's number 1? The most important. That way when you do have time off from that number 1, you go to number 2. When you have time off for both, you go to number 3 then. Your third is still a goal mentally, but it's not your focus. If you focus all day on 10 things, you'll get nothing done. So that's number 1 before you do anything. Health, fitness, job. Because again, maybe your job or goal will affect your health.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So number 1, it has to be your goals overall. To get in this life journey that we all have, to get where you want, you have to figure out your goals and break those down, again, to like a bullet point. And it's okay not to have, like I said, you most likely you'll have at least 2, right? And so break it down and number it. But you have to write this down daily. If you don't, it's a choice, of course, but it's going to be hard to maintain what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's 2025. There's so many things.
So much information, so much. Ugh.
And again, here's an example. So nutrition, I got a lot of stuff for nutrition and fitness, on my Instagram and all those things, which is, part of what I do, of course, right? So because it's not a goal of mine to learn from like 50 people, I don't have to listen to it. But if I'm starting out, I'm listening to everyone and I'm taking pieces that sound good, that gets the most views. And I want to say the same thing in the video because it's getting the most views, even though I have no clue on it, most likely. Because nutrition's broken down so much.
That's the culture now.
And that's where it is like, this study has shown this. Okay, are you sure? Or did you hear someone say there's a study of this and now you're saying the same thing?
Isn't it crazy though that social media is that now, but you know what was before that was the news outlets.
Oh, yes.
They were doing the same exact thing. It's all just, and then I just saw a video with the guy who was playing all these stations saying the same thing. And it's like, what is this?
And that's what it is. And, if you go get certificates, degrees, or whatever it is, what you're doing, stick with that. The reason why is because at least it's been studied.
Yeah.
Nutrition's always changing. Fitness, you could look at it that way too, but things change. But go off what works, and especially if you have people that you've trained, nutrition, exercise, whatever it is, both. If it works, especially if you did it yourself, it works.
Yeah.
You don't have to go off other people, but to go back to your question though, yes, if you're just starting in your journey here, whatever your goals are, you got to find it first and then go from there.
Yeah.
That's you have to start there first.
So break down the goals. That's number 1. Right. Get the goals, write them out and prioritize them in order.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then with being in Vegas, because,
right.
I guess on the business side of things,
okay. Yeah.
How difficult is it to find people that are willing to say, I'm going to start this and really stick to it?
What I've noticed over time, no one cares about what you're doing. It's, can you give me that result? I'm pleading to people. I try to help people that are newer to this because I went through it. Everyone does this in the beginning. I don't care if it's fitness, nutrition, both. You start to exercise and post videos of you exercising first. People like it. That's cool. But they like it. They don't know that you can help them though. Eventually, you just got to show proof that you're helping people and it works. That's all people could really care about. No one's going to give you money if they don't trust you.
Yeah.
So I tell everyone, first, there's a lot of the things I talk about, with apps and other things. Don't do it the old school way. Try to do it this way for nutrition. Because if you start back there, people are going to find someone that has better technology and better things to help with. They're going to go with them. Because again, what will help me the most?
Right.
The technology or pen to paper only, old school. But that's how people start, which is absolutely fine. I did, right? But you need things in place over time once you make more money to get the better quality stuff, or just start with it. And when it comes to, like I said, fitness and health, all this mindset, you have to show proof and show yourself first, yes, but you need something to show.
Yeah.
Otherwise, again, no one's going to look at you and be like, yeah, you can help me. Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Nobody's going to buy into just your words or just whatever. It's like proof.
You have to show the proof.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this past year, actually, I'm focused more on just showing that. I used to do videos with like me talking and me exercising.
Yeah.
It's cool, right? But again, like we were talking about earlier, there's also like, how many, I don't know, 10,000 people doing the same thing as me.
Yeah.
At that time anyways.
The fitness industry is insane. And
yeah, but just gotta show proof. Just show proof. Here's another thing I recommend. And this was taught to me too when I was going through my stuff of like certs and all that. Maybe if you're new to this, get like 5 to 10 people absolutely free. Train them for free. Because remember, you gotta show proof.
Yeah.
Just train them for free. I recommend is say, I'm gonna do this for free. You don't have to tell me you're new if you don't want to, but unless they ask, don't lie. But just say, I'm here, it's a new year, I want to help people. Do you mind if I can actually coach you in this? Let's get 90 days worth of this. And all I ask is that I can maybe post what we're doing. You post the difference, we do a side-by-side, those type of things.
Right. To build up that credibility too.
Yes.
For
and
sure.
Then you'll learn as you go. Everyone's different too. I don't want to go too deep because everyone's going to be different in their own way of how they teach, or coach, all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, I just want to end with this one question here because I always try to figure out where we're shifting as a city. It is Vegas Unmuted, so we're loud for local voices. And with so much happening, because I remember 2 years ago, it was not this packed.
Correct.
For me, right?
It wasn't,
It wasn't. Yeah. So I'm seeing so much movement. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing so much changes of, like I always mentioned, the team come in, the sphere, the this, that, so much going on. What do you see for the future as far as the city of Las Vegas, as it relates to maybe not just fitness, but on a whole with business?
Embrace the growth.
Oh.
No matter what you're doing, no matter what your goal is, you want more people around you like you. And the better chance of that is the growth.
Yeah.
Here's another thing too, really quick. If you feel like you're not in that group, that's the higher level people, just make more money. Well, that's easier said than done. I know it is. I know it's hard. But if you have the goal, you'll just keep working at it. And you're going to, as you get bigger, better, more knowledgeable at what you're doing, you're going to meet those people up. And if you're in a bigger place, like Vegas is growing, you're going to attract the bigger people are coming here.
Yeah, that's true.
And you want to be around them. Why would you not want to be around the people that know they're the best at it or one of the best?
Right.
I'm not going to downgrade any city or whatever, but if you're in a smaller city, no one's going to come there that's that big. It's not that it's terrible. It's just...
It's just what it is.
It is. And you want to be, again, around more people like you, though. And you learn... I believe in collaboration more than anything else, too. I almost forgot about that. Collab. If you're starting your goals... Collab. If you're in the fitness industry, collab.
Very important. So
important. And you'll learn from each other, too, as you grow. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Oh, thank you.
And I guess one thing, if you could leave us with one thing before we wrap it up, what would that be? What would that one thing be? Oh, I didn't even get to ask you.
Oh, sure.
I know everybody has their different, faith-based things like that. Okay. One of the things, I'm big on that, so I can't just leave it out. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it has like faith in belief in God or whatever it is impacts you in any way?
I believe no matter what you believe in, that again, no matter what, if you just stay positive to whatever you believe in, because it could be a religion, it could be energy. you
True.
believe, whatever it is, if you just stay positive with it, you'll just keep going to the direction you're supposed to go.
I love that.
Get the negativity out. Again, I'm not saying you're never going to have it. We're human. But whatever faith you have, just stick with that in a positive way. If someone doesn't believe in what you believe in, it's okay.
Very much so.
It's okay.
It is. I love that.
I mean, you can have differences in politics, religion,
And still be all right.
It'll never be an issue. Because
And you
have
learned
the same
that.
goals.
We learned that too in the military.
You do in the military.
I met people who never saw a black person.
I believe you.
I'm like, he was like, well, I've only seen Denzel on TV. I'm like,
yeah.
well, I'm not Denzel, but
Yeah.
I am black. So,
Yeah. And
but yeah,
did it matter though?
it absolutely not.
It doesn't matter.
That's the thing. And
Nothing about military.
so many different varieties of walks.
And you can become friends.
and be all right.
Be all right. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, David,
Yes.
you have officially been unmuted.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you want to tell the people where they can find you and Triple Threat Transformation.
That's okay. I got you.
Triple Threat. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. Go ahead and tell us like your Instagram, maybe if you have a website, so that way they can know.
I do have a website. It's triplethreattransformation.com. You can find me also at David R. Lonergan, Lonergan. Just that name. On Instagram, Facebook. I do have a TikTok, but I don't really use that. But find me on social media, Instagram specifically, and or my website to find me best.
Okay, I hope you guys got that.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. It has been great having you here.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Look forward to episode 4, guys, so stay tuned.